When you're looking for a hydration product, what are the things that you're looking for?
If I'm ever looking for a hydration product, the number one thing I'm looking for is that it tastes good. Like, water has no taste at all. Water's what, like, nature turns to rehydrate, and that's a little bit boring. And then you come down, are you gonna go with sugar? Are you gonna go with sugar-free? And all of this is just conversations point. Does this taste better than the other product? That's it. Jocko Hydrate is delicious. It's got electrolytes. That's between you guys. I don't know what electrolyte is. Frankly, I don't even need one. You could give me more electrolytes than the opponent, I'll beat the opponent. You could give me less than the opponent, I'll still beat the opponent. I can't even spell electrolyte. This has them, whatever that is. And it tastes good, which is really what matters. Tom Aspinall just knocked out Curtis Blaydes. Now, TKO, I think is the official term for that. Curtis was certainly still awake, and it looked like an early stoppage to me. And it's not the first Tom fight I've seen that looked like an early stoppage to me. And it wasn't. Oh, how do I mean that? Well, talk to Curtis. No different than talk to Sergi. Right? These guys don't think it's early. And when you end up talking to the fighter and then you have the benefit of replay, I mean, there was no way to see that match and not come away realizing just how good Mark Goddard is. But aside from that, why is it looking like that? What is happening? You see a guy land a shot, and referee lets it go. Referee's going to let 4 or 5 shots before he stops it. This guy's landing a shot, the referees are stopping it. Why is that happening? Now, I'm exaggerating. Sometimes it's 2 shots, but on the other side of it, it can be 6, 7, 8 shots, right? Why? And the answer is, what we're not able to see at home is because of how fast, how hard, and how dangerous those shots are. That's the answer. This was stunning to see because Curtis Blaydes has the most dangerous skill set aside from Jon Jones in the division. And Curtis was landing shots on his feet. Now, I will maintain how good Curtis is. You've never seen Curtis get his ass kicked, and I believe that includes tonight. You have seen happen to Curtis before. What happened tonight? You have seen Curtis get in firefights on his feet where something happens and he gets caught. And he goes down and the guy swarms him. We've seen that, but I want to give that cushion to the fall of Curtis because you can't really appreciate or even understand what you just saw from Tom if you don't understand that part about Curtis. Right? You gotta understand, he came out, he's floating, he's moving. Tom, meanwhile, is worried about one thing, whether he talked about it in his interviews or he sees this later and admits, hey, Chael was right. He's worried about one thing, which is getting taken down. Nobody wants to be on their back. Royce Gracie didn't want to be on his back. They learn what to do from there. And you don't want to be on your back, which is likely where you're going to end up when you're taking on a national champion wrestler, which is what Curtis Blaydes is. And you want to know why that's relevant? Because when you're worried about getting taken down, the threat of the takedown is the danger. The takedown itself is painless. You don't get hurt getting taken down. Not in MMA, not in jiu-jitsu, not in wrestling, not out on the playground. You don't get hurt getting taken down. It's the threat. And it's the threat that causes a reaction. It's the threat that causes an apprehensiveness. It's a threat that will slow you down. It's a threat that will stop you from mounting your offense. And you know what? Tom had them all. That wasn't a great fight by Tom. Tom is in a position where he, aside from the opportunities he's given and aside from the call-outs that he's doing, Tom is in a position where he's better than he knows he is. And that is a very slippery slope. Some guys will accept that and they gain a confidence and they become a new level of dangerous. I would put Jon Jones in that category. I would put Anderson Silva in that category. But other guys start to believe in their greatness. They take their foot off the brake. That fear, that lack of confidence. Right, people will tell you got to be confident. You must have confidence. They'll tell you that, but that's a very interesting pie chart. That pie chart, you don't want that 100% filled in. As a matter of fact, you don't even need it 50 or 40%. You just need a sliver. You just need a sliver of I can do it if. I believe I have a way if. And then you start to fill in that blank with 2 or 3 things. If I move my feet, if I push hard through the entire fight, whatever it might be. And I'm watching Tom surprised with himself. That wasn't a perfect fight by Tom. Curtis was actually fundamentally doing some things a little bit better than Tom. And Tom is so powerful that there's another guy that he touches one time. Another great big heavyweight. And one thing about Tom that you won't find, well, on Jon Jones's record, you probably would on Stipe's. You would not find it on Daniel Cormier's record. I'm trying to think great heavyweights. You would not find it on Randy Couture's record. One thing about Tom is these boys he's putting down, these are the big heavyweights. And I'm talking about size. I'm talking about actually getting on the scale and what they tip the scale at. Right? It's no different than you go up to a tree, a little whippy tree that blows in the wind. You punch it and it moves. Well, think about hitting an oak tree. You punch it, but it doesn't move. It hurts your hand. The same punch. It's a lot like punching somebody. A guy that's a big guy is hard to put down. It's hard to hurt him. That shock that goes through the body, well, that gets absorbed in your ass and your hips. Tom's still touching these boys one time. Mike Tyson had a hard time putting down the heavyweights that were 240, 250, 260. These are the guys that Tom is touching one time. This is a shocking power, guys. I don't love the idea. Like when I'm thinking of a Tom versus Jon, I don't love the idea that Tom is getting guys out of here so quickly. I don't love the reality that in 3 years, Tom has been in the ring about 3 minutes. But the other side of it is, what are you going to do? How are you going to stop him? Curtis Blaydes had a plan, which was perfect. Strike with him. Roll to the outside. Eventually strike with him. Don't roll to the outside. Change elevation. Grab the sumbitch. That was Curtis Blaydes' plan. He's a national champion wrestler. He's as dangerous of a wrestler as the division has. And that plan did not make it out of the first round.